Have you ever stood in a room and felt an undeniable pull to be outside? Or been in a garden and wished you could just extend your living room right into it? For decades, we've talked about indoor-outdoor living as a luxury, a nice to have. But after the last few years, it's become something else entirely. It's become a necessity for our well-being, a non-negotiable part of how we want to live. But here's the hard truth I see every day as a designer. So many people are getting this trend wrong. They install a massive sliding door, throw a patio set outside, and call it a day. And then they're left with a drafty room, a patio that never gets used, and a feeling of disconnect, not flow. What if I told you that achieving true indoor-outdoor harmony in 2026 has very little to do with the size of your door and everything to do with a revolution in how we think about our spaces? It's not just an architectural technique. It's a lifestyle philosophy. It's about creating what I call a biophilic sanctuary, a space that doesn't just look at nature, but actively lives and breathes with it. In this video, we're moving beyond the basics. We're diving deep into the 5 most critical and most often missed rules for mastering the indoor-outdoor flow trend in 2026. We're talking about material science, sensory design, and creating what I predict will be the biggest trend of the year, the outdoor room. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll see your home, your veranda, your tiny balcony in a completely new light. Foundation 1, the visual seamlessness. It's not just a big door. Let's start with the most obvious element, the threshold, the literal connection between inside and out. The common mistake here is focusing solely on the size of the opening. Bigger is better, right? Well, not always. The real goal in 2026 is visual seamlessness. We want the eye to travel uninterrupted from the deepest point inside your home, all the way to the farthest point in your garden. The barrier should practically disappear. This begins with alignment and what we call the aperture. It's not just about the door unit itself, but how it's framed within your architecture. The top of the door frame should ideally align with your interior ceiling height. The sides should be flush with your interior walls. We're eliminating bulky architraves and heavy framing. The trend is moving towards incredibly slim profiles. Think 30 millimeters or less, in finishes like matte black or earthy bronze. These frames become a delicate line in a drawing, rather than a bold border cutting your view in half. But the true magic happens at the floor level. This is the #1 detail amateurs miss. To achieve a true flow, your interior flooring and exterior paving must be continuous. We are moving away from a drastic change in material and height. The 2026 approach is to use the same or incredibly similar material inside and out. Imagine a honed limestone tile that starts in your kitchen, runs through your living area, and continues out onto your veranda and courtyard. The grout lines literally carry your eye from one space to the other. For a warmer, more organic feel, wide planked European oak internally can be mirrored by a high-quality, UV-stable porcelain tile that replicates the exact same wood grain and color externally. The brain registers it as one continuous surface, instantly doubling the perceived spark. Now, let's talk about the reveal. This is the small, intentional gap or step that can make or break the aesthetic. A massive 50mm step down to the outside feels like a trip hazard and a visual block. The 2026 best practice is a perfectly flush threshold, or a minimal 10 to 15mm reveal that's detailed with a subtle, integrated drain channel. This isn't just about looks, it's about accessibility. It welcomes you outside. It doesn't require a step. It tells you that these two spaces are one. Combine this with a pocketing or sliding door system that completely vanishes into a wall cavity, and on a perfect day, you have effectively removed the entire wall. That is visual seamlessness. That is the foundation upon which everything else is built. Foundation 2, Material Mixology, the Textural Revolution. All right, we've got our seamless visual canvas. Now, let's give it a soul. Let's talk about materials. If the first rule was about creating a continuous plane, this rule is about creating a rich, layered tapestry. The trend for 2026 is what I'm calling material mixology. It's a move away from matchy-matchy furniture sets and into a curated, almost collected feel that bridges the interior-exterior divide through texture, not just color. Inside, we're embracing a palette of organic, tactile materials. Think beyond paint and drywall. We're using lime wash plaster on walls that has a subtle, variable depth. We're incorporating reclaimed wood beams or feature walls of split-faced stone. The key here is that these materials have a story, a texture you can feel with your eyes. Now, you take that language outside. That interior lime wash wall, it finds its partner in a honed sandstone patio. The reclaimed oak beam inside is echoed by a chunky, rustic teak dining table on the veranda. You're not matching, you're echoing. You're creating a family of materials that speak the same language. This is where rustic furniture truly shines in 2026. Forget the perfect, polished, and pristine. We are moving towards the authentic, the weathered, the characterful. A massive trend for the coming year is wabi-sabi and European farmhouse fusion. Imagine a beautiful, solid wood dining table with a pronounced, live edge where you can see the natural contour of the tree. Pair it with chunky, forged iron chairs that have a hand-hammered texture. This isn't furniture that fears the elements. It welcomes them. The wood will silver over time. The iron will develop a gentle patina. This is furniture that gets better with age, that tells the story of your family's life outdoors. But the mixology doesn't stop with the big pieces. The real sophistication comes in the soft furnishings. This is a game changer. In 2026, we are bringing the luxury of the indoors out. I'm talking about outdoor-rated fabrics that feel like interior-grade velvet, chenille, and buccal. Yes, you heard that right. Performance fabrics have undergone a revolution. You can now have deeply textured, incredibly soft cushions, throws, and even upholstered ottomans that are completely UV, stain, and water resistant. So, you can drape a gorgeous, nubby, wool-like blanket over your rustic teak bench when the evening gets cool and not worry about the dew. You layer these plush, soft textures against the hard, rugged textures of the wood and stone. This contrast, this mixology, is what creates a space that feels irresistibly inviting, comfortable, and deeply human. It blurs the lines so effectively because the comfort you expect inside is now waiting for you outside. Foundation 3, the sensory-scape, designing for more than just sight. We've captivated the eyes and invited touch. But to truly master indoor-outdoor flow, we have to design for the entire sensory experience. This is the most overlooked, yet most powerful, aspect of the trend. In 2026, great design isn't just seen. It's heard, smelled, tasted, and felt underfoot. We are creating a sensory-scape. Let's start with sound. This is arguably the most important. You don't want the soundscape to abruptly switch from the quiet, controlled interior to the often chaotic noise of the outside world. We need to curate the sound. The most beautiful way to do this is with water. A small recirculating water feature is not a cliché. It's an essential tool. The gentle, consistent sound of trickling water creates a calming, sonic blanket that masks unwanted noise from neighbors or traffic. It's a sound that the brain associates with peace and nature. Complement this with the rustle of ornamental grasses, plants like miscanthus or calamagrostis that sway and whisper in the slightest breeze. These natural sounds become the soundtrack to your outdoor room, seamlessly blending with the soft music you might have playing inside. Next, scent and taste. This is where your planting scheme becomes multifunctional. We are moving beyond just visual horticulture and into culinary and fragrant landscaping. Plant a jasmine or star jasmine near your door. It's intense. Evening fragrance will drift inside on a warm night, seamlessly blending the air of both spaces. Lavender, rosemary, and mint are not just for the herb garden. Use them as border plantings along a pathway. As you brush past them, they release their aroma. This is called associative planting. You are engaging the sense of smell through interaction. And of course, step outside and pick fresh herbs for your cooking or for a cocktail. The act of moving outside to harvest a sprig of rosemary for your dinner or some mint for your mojito is the ultimate expression of indoor-outdoor living. It makes the exterior a functional, delicious extension of your kitchen. Finally, let's talk about the kinesthetic sense, the feeling of movement and temperature. Create a barefoot journey from inside to out. Have a warm, soft rug inside that leads to a smooth, sun-warmed limestone patio, to a section of cool, ticklish grass, and maybe even to a dedicated foot washing station or a small, shallow pebble pool to dip your feet in. You are designing an experience that encourages people to physically connect with the space. And for temperature, the 2026 must-have is the all-season veranda. This isn't just for summer. We're integrating permanent, beautiful heat sources. Think of a sleek, linear ethanol fireplace mounted on a courtyard wall, or a classic chimenea in a rustic clay finish. Paired with those outdoor performance throws I mentioned earlier, this allows you to use your outdoor room deep into the autumn and early spring. The warmth beckons you outside, making the flow a year-round reality, not just a fair weather fantasy. Foundation 4. The green thread, biophilic connections. All of this brings us to the heart of the 2026 trend, biophilia. This is the human innate tendency to connect with nature and other forms of life. It's not just a buzzword. It's the why behind everything we've discussed. And to get the flow right, we need to weave a green thread that physically and visually stitches the inside to the outside. The most powerful way to do this is through borrowed landscapes and strategic planting. You need to think like a film director framing a shot. What is the view from your primary seating area inside? That is your focal point. You should be framing a beautiful element in your garden, a specimen tree, a piece of sculpture, a water feature. But the green thread means you also bring that landscape inside. Place a large architectural plant, like a fiddle leaf fig, a bird of paradise, or an olive tree in a large rustic planter just inside your glass door. From the outside looking in, you see greenery. From the inside looking out, you see greenery. The line between where the garden ends and the home begins is utterly blurred. Now, let's talk about verticality. We've covered the floor plane, but the walls are our next frontier. In 2026, living walls are becoming more accessible and more sophisticated. A small, modular living wall system installed on an interior wall adjacent to your courtyard can have a breathtaking effect. The plants improve air quality, add humidity, and create a stunning textural backdrop. Externally, use climbers and espaliered trees on your boundary walls. Train a climbing rose or a clematis to frame your view. This creates layers of greenery at different heights, enveloping you in a green embrace whether you are sitting inside or out. Allow a section of your courtyard to grow a little wilder. Plant native species that attract pollinators, bees, butterflies, and birds. When you hear the buzz of a bee and see a butterfly flit from an exterior flower to an interior plant, you have achieved the highest level of biophilic flow. You have allowed the ecosystem to gently infiltrate your home. Your home is no longer a fortress against nature, but a sanctuary within it. This is not just design. It's a philosophy of coexistence that is profoundly relevant for our times. The final element of the green thread is the concept of rewilding. This is a huge trending keyword for 2025 to 2026. It's about moving away from highly manicured, perfectionist gardens and towards a more natural, ecologically supportive planting scheme. Allow a section of your courtyard to grow a little wilder. plant native species that attract pollinators, bees, butterflies, and birds. When you hear the buzz of a bee and see a butterfly flit from an exterior flower to an interior plant, you have achieved the highest level of biophilic flow. You have allowed the ecosystem to gently infiltrate your home. Your home is no longer a fortress against nature, but a sanctuary within it. This is not just design. It's a philosophy of coexistence that is profoundly relevant for our times. Foundation 5. The functional flow, creating the outdoor room. All the visual harmony, textural richness, sensory delight, and biophilic connection in the world won't matter if the space doesn't function. This is our fifth and final rule, and it's the culmination of all the others. You must create a deliberate, functional outdoor room. In 2026, your veranda, courtyard, or small garden should feel as considered and purposeful as your living room or kitchen. This starts with zoning. Just like inside, you need dedicated zones for different activities. Even in a small space, you can create this. The conversation zone is key. This isn't just a couple of chairs pointed at a door. Arrange your rustic furniture in a cohesive grouping, facing each other to encourage talk. Define this zone with an outdoor rug. Yes, they make durable, beautiful ones specifically for this. The rug anchors the space, just like it does indoors. In your dining zone, invest in a proper outdoor dining set that is proportional to the space and your family's needs. The 2026 trend is for extendable tables in warm woods, so you can have an intimate dinner for two or host a family gathering. Now, let's elevate this further. The biggest trend in functional flow is the outdoor kitchen and bar. I'm not necessarily talking about a full, built-in, granite-topped monstrosity, unless you have the space and budget. For most, it's about a dedicated station. A stylish, rustic console table that houses a weatherproof drawer for utensils, a built-in ice bucket, and a small, built-in grill or pizza oven. This makes cooking and entertaining outside effortless and prevents you from constantly running back inside, which breaks the flow. Finally, incorporate elements of quiet function. A weatherproof cabinet to store throws and cushions. A small, sheltered bookshelf for your favorite reads. An outdoor rated power point for subtle lighting or to charge a device. When you stop seeing your outdoor space as an appendage to your home, and start seeing it as a legitimate, functional room without a ceiling, you have achieved the ultimate indoor-outdoor flow. It becomes the most used, most loved room in your house, regardless of its square footage. So, there you have it. The 5 foundations for mastering the indoor-outdoor flow trend in 2026. Visual seamlessness, material mixology, the sensory-scape, the biophilic green thread, and the functional outdoor room. It's about so much more than a door. It's about creating a dialogue between your home and the natural world. A dialogue conducted through materials, senses, and function. This is your opportunity to create a home that doesn't just shelter you, but nourishes you. A home that expands your living space and your quality of life. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 foundations is the biggest game changer for your space? Is it the sensory water feature, or the idea of a barefoot journey? Let me know in the comments below. Your experiences help me create better content for you. If this video inspired you, if it gave you even one fresh idea for your veranda or courtyard, then do me a huge favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the future of design. We have a lot more to explore together. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, design is not about perfection. It's about connection. Now, go out and create a space you love, inside and out. See you in the next one.